Welcome to Take a Break, Take a Breath for Friday, October 29th. I'm Rick Boyer, the pastor of Prospect Presbyterian Church in Maplewood, New Jersey. And Take a Break, Take a Breath is an invitation for you to pause in your day and to just sit down for a couple minutes and breathe and center yourself in God who made you and loves you and calls you by name. As we come together for Take a Break, Take a Breath, I've been making a few comments on scripture and reading my way through at this particular time the epistle to the Romans, and we're on Romans 8:1 through 11. Paul's turning the corner on his argument, and he's making the point that we are given the gift of being in the Spirit, and in doing so God dwells in us, and we have a way to life, and it is a way to life that God's made us into a tabernacle, so to speak. The verse I want to focus on for you are the following. Verse 9, "But you are not in the flesh, you are in the Spirit, since the Spirit of God dwells in you. Anyone who does not have the Spirit of Christ does not belong to him." He's making the point that we are not in the flesh anymore. We're not under the ways of, and he doesn't mean by flesh there physical. He means the ways of Adam and rebellion and sin. We're not there anymore. That we are, but God's Spirit dwells in us. Running in the back of all of this is what's going on in the days of Paul. And the Second Temple theology was quite popular. And in that Second Temple was the understanding that God came and lived in that Second Temple. That the presence of God was especially present in that place. I want to use all of those things as part of our meditation time today. So if you haven't already done so, I invite you to go to a quiet place in your house and to settle into a chair. And if the room has a door, make sure the door is closed. And close your eyes. Feel the support of that chair and allow your body to relax into that chair. Just let all of the muscles unwind. Feel the support of the seat of that chair on the back of your legs and on your seat. Feel the support of the arms, if it has arms, under your arms. Feel the back of the chair as it supports your back. Think about the room that you're in. What is the lighting like in that room? What is the color? What colors are in that room? Are there special things that you look at in that room that you particularly enjoy? Take notice of the windows. Is the light shining in? Or are the shades drawn? Or are the curtains pulled? What sounds do you hear coming from outside the room? Are there any? Can you hear perhaps the sound of heat in the room itself? Take a deep breath. And as you breathe in the breath of God. And as you breathe out all that separates you from God. As you breathe in the breath of life. And as you breathe out all that does not give you life. As you breathe in God's peace. And as you breathe out all of the things that disturb your peace. all of your worries and your fears and your anxieties. Keep breathing deeply and allow God's peace and presence to grow in you and over you. Imagine it like a blanket that wraps you up. You feel the warmth of that blanket. It's wrapped around your legs and your feet. And the warmth of the blanket relaxes your legs and your feet. You pull it up and it's wrapped around you, and you can feel it warming your back and your belly. And as it does so, the peace of God penetrates into the muscles of your back, and the burdens of the day that weigh you down and cause you to be bent over are set down for just a few moments. The churning in your belly calms. Your breathing stays deep and steady. Your heart rate is calm and peaceful. The warmth of that blanket and the presence of God penetrates into the muscles of your shoulders and your arms. And under the blanket, you're able to open your hands and let go of the things you're holding on to at the moment. You pull it up around your neck, and your neck unwinds and the tensions melt away. And the peace and presence of God falls on your mind and dwells in you. And as it does so, your mind gets calm and still. And the muscles of your face relax. And if your jaw has been tight, it opens. And for a moment, I want you to imagine your interior life like a house. You walk around and there are different rooms. What are those different rooms for you? What would you call them? Might be a room that's called work. Might be a room that's called friends. You might have a room that's called family. You might have one that's called health. And one that could be called learning. You keep wandering around in the house looking at all these different rooms. And in the middle of all the rooms is a room called faith. You walk into that room, and there are two chairs. one for you, one for God. There's a door on the other side of the room and it opens. In walks God's presence. How does God's presence come to you on this day? Is it a wind? A presence that you feel? Or is it more tangible, like a man or a woman or someone not in either end of that spectrum, but obviously a person? Someone who might be trans. Is that possible for you? God is neither male nor female, you know. What about hair and eyes and skin? How does God come to you today? God sits in the chair opposite you. And just looks at you and says, let's talk. What is it that God is going to say to you? And what is it that you want to say to God? I'll be quiet while the two of you talk for a while. And then the time comes for the conversation to end for now, and the two of you say goodbye in whatever way is appropriate. And God moves back out through the door and closes it. And you move back to the room where you are today as you let that image fade away. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Let's take a break, take a breath for Friday, October 29th. If you have feedback for me or you want to talk or pray, send an email to rick@prospectchurch.org.